While on a date with Asia, Issei learns about her past as an excommunicated nun from the church. Issei promises to remain her friend regardless of being a devil, but their moment is interrupted when Rainier appears and kidnaps Asia. Later, Rias explains the special ability that pawns possess, known as promotion. She suddenly departs with Aquino, leaving behind a cryptic note suggesting the church as the enemy grounds. Recalling Rainier's mention of a ritual involving Asia that night, Issei becomes determined to rescue her. Issei makes his way to the church, and Kiba and Koniko follow him, understanding Rias's message. They barge into the sanctuary and defeat Freed. However, Issei discovers Asia chained to a cross, where Rainier is about to complete her ritual. Rainier takes away Asia's sacred gear and incorporates it into herself, leading to Asia's demise. She even allows Asia to be released back to Issei, but mentions the consequences a host faces when their sacred gear is removed or destroyed. Rainier expresses surprise that her superiors were cautious about Issei's sacred gear, given its ability to merely double the power of its user, especially when Issei is so weak that even with his power doubled, he poses no threat. Filled with fury, Issei prays intensely to God and Lucifer, and this overwhelming surge of emotions unlocks a new ability in his sacred gear, revealing just a fraction of its full potential. In a state of righteous and manic rage, Issei utilizes his newfound power to deliver a powerful blow that knocks out Rainier with a single punch, despite her having impaled both of his legs. Rias arrives on the scene and reprimands Rainier for underestimating Issei's sacred gear and for harming one of her servants. Trying to regain his trust, Rainier transforms into her human form, Yoma, and pleads for Issei to protect her. Enraged by Rainier's actions and heartbroken, Issei commands Rias to kill Rainier. Shortly afterward, Rias retrieves Asia's sacred gear and resurrects her as a bishop. Following Rainier's defeat, new living arrangements are arranged for Asia, who had been residing in the club's room. Meanwhile, Issei embarks on a fresh training routine with Rias to enhance his physical abilities. To his surprise, during the training, Issei discovers Asia with her boxes outside his house. Asia starts attending school and is placed in Issei's class, where she quickly gains attention from other classmates, leading to jealousy from Matsuda and Motohama. The next night, Issei receives another assignment, but struggles to establish a pact. While pondering it during PE class, he ends up dozing off in the infirmary alongside Rias. Observing Issei's lustful desires, Rias offers her body to him in exchange for a pact. That night, Rias accompanies Issei on his next job, assisting a foreign exchange student named Susan dressed as a samurai to retrieve her notebook. Susan also seeks Rias's help in attracting her love interest. After a peculiar encounter with Susan's love interest, Issei successfully completes the job. He attempts to claim his reward from Rias, but his chance is interrupted when other members arrive. Instead, Rias surprises everyone by giving Issei a hug. Rias decides it's time for Issei and Asia to have servant familiars. The school's student council comes to the club room, revealing themselves as another faction of devils. Both groups compete to be the first to enter the world of familiars, with a normal tennis match escalating into a magical battle, resulting in a draw due to equipment destruction. Rias and her peerage ultimately win the dodgeball match, earning the right to choose familiars first. The search for familiars leads them to Master Familiar Toji, who guides them through the forest and showcases various creatures they can select. Among them is the rare and hard-to-obtain Sprite Dragon. Suddenly, the forest becomes infested with slime, ruining their clothes. Issei decides to make the slime his familiar and enlists Asia's help to protect it. However, he ends up being knocked out by the Sprite Dragon, who takes a liking to Asia. In the end, Asia accepts the Sprite Dragon as her familiar, while Rias acknowledges that Issei still has room for improvement. Issei has a dream where he is marrying Rias, which triggers a connection with his inner dragon. After school, Issei runs into Asia in the shower, and she confesses her desire for a deeper relationship with him. Later that night, Rias shows up in Issei's bedroom, seeking to lose her virginity. However, their intimate moment is abruptly interrupted by the sudden arrival of Graphia Lucifuge, Rias' brother Surzix, Lucifer's wife and queen, who initially belittles Issei for his low status. At Ku Academy, Issei and his group meet Riser Phoenix, a devil who is engaged to Rias. When Riser proposes to Rias, she turns him down. He mocks Issei's dream of having a harem, leading to Rias throwing one of her pieces at Issei's stomach. In response, the Gremory and Phoenix clans decide to organize a ratings game. Rias agrees to face Phoenix in 10 days for their upcoming rating game. During this period, Issei undergoes training in a secluded area under Rias' guidance as they prepare for the match. However, Issei faces disappointment as he fails in each lesson with everyone, leaving him deeply discouraged. First, he loses to Kiba in sword fighting, then Akino and Asia outmatch him in magic manipulation, and finally, Koniko delivers a harsh defeat. Despite his setbacks, in Lesson 4, he manages to tap into a newfound power by visualizing his intended victim's breasts. That night, in a waterfall mausoleum, Issei opens up to Rias, expressing his admiration for her as his mentor, but he feels useless and burdensome to her. He bemoans causing trouble for her and believes himself to be the most ineffective devil, leading to tears. Recognizing his lack of self-confidence, Rias vows to help him gain some self-assurance. She instructs him to rest for the night until he is fully capable. The next morning, Issei begins training with his sacred gear. Boosting 12 times, he generates an aura of energy and launches a powerful beam of red light at Kiba, obliterating a nearby mountain. Though he exhausts himself quickly, Rias, recalling his admiration for her true self, finds herself growing affectionate towards him. The clash between the Phoenix clan and the Gremory clan commences. Issei reveals his embarrassing finishing move, dress break, but manages to show his capability. The Gremory team experiences their first defeat when a comrade faces the overwhelming numbers of the Phoenix clan. Enraged by the fate of his companion, Issei takes on the enemy queen in a challenge. The rating game carries on. Both factions suffer additional losses, and Riser remains unscathed thanks to the Phoenix family's unique ability. Rias concludes the game by making a difficult decision. After the rating game, Issei wakes up and finds himself unconscious. Grafia soon informs him of the game's outcome and hands him a magic circle, enabling him to attend the Gremory Phoenix engagement party. Surzik's message encourages Issei to rescue Rias forcefully if he desires to do so. Issei crashes the party, but Surzik intervenes and proposes a one-on-one battle between Riser and Issei to make things more exciting, as he found the rating game unsatisfying. Issei and Riser engage in a fierce duel, culminating in Issei striking Riser with a crucifix and holy water. Issei later discovers the secret on the back of the transport circle Grafia gave him, a griffin that was meant to help him escape with Rias, had he lost again. During a conversation with Grafia, Surzik shares his thoughts and plans regarding Rias' forced engagement. Overwhelmed by Issei's feelings and determination, Rias rewards him with her first kiss. As a result of the intense battle between Dragon and Phoenix, Rias decides to move into Issei's house as well.
I hope you liked the recap. If so, don't forget to subscribe and like it.